and R&B.
615radio.com.
24/7.
Tap in with us, man.
What's good? It's DJ Right for you tuned in to Culture Forward.
If you ain't rocking with Culture Forward, you're moving back. It ain't easy, but somebody gotta do it. That's why your daddy good. But don't worry, his flaws are our expertise. Y'all already know what it is. Big fold.
I do it for my city.
6.
Tap in with us, man.
Tune in to Culture Forward every Thursday, 8 p.m. 615radiothestreets.com. The TuneIn app, Live 365 app, or a simple radio app.
Hey, what's shaking, man? It's hard liquor shotty, man. If you ain't tapped in, tap in right now. You already know what it is. Let it rock.
Tap in with us, man.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy King the MC. Go ahead and crank it up a notch for me.
Hey, it's Kitty Quotes, man. We out here moving the culture forward with my dog Leo Dynamite. Tune in.
What's going on, guys? You are now tuned in to Culture Forward Radio. Like I said, 615 Radio. This is your boy C. Bailey. I know you're used to a different voice, that of Leo, but we switched it up. So for those tuning into my Facebook right now, I just got interviewed, and we thought it'd be a nice idea for me to switch the tables, man, and interview the interviewer. So without further ado, man, I got my special guest. Y'all can't see him. My special guest, Leo. Leo, what's going on, man? What's good?
Man, not too much, man.
That's real. That's real.
Not too much, bro. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Listen, you know, it's a lot going on right now. I just stay out the way, stay positive, stay productive.
I hear you. So, for those who can't see it, man, Leo right now, he's got a piece of pizza in front of us. He's getting down. So y'all can't see that, but he's eating and everything. So, you know, we out here. Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, starting off, for those who don't know Leo, hold on real quick. Let me show y'all who Leo is. That's Leo, my interviewer for the evening. So Leo, why we here? So I guess start off with your name. How did you get the name? Well, how did you come up with your Instagram name, Leo Dynamite?
That's very funny.
I mean, you know, we got time.
Yeah.
What we looking like? We good. We got time. What we looking like? Okay. Are we good? Oh, wait, we wrong?
Alright, so really, I'm gonna be honest with you. So,
yeah.
Originally, it had started out as Leo Da Vinci.
I actually like Da Vinci better, but why did you decide to go with Dynamite?
Number one, because I'm a big fan of the JJ character on Good Times.
Okay.
Just the show in general.
Okay.
Specifically.
I rock with it.
It was very charismatic. You know
okay.
what I mean? Like he was like his style was just really centric. He was real funny.
Okay.
He was an artist though.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of liked that. And then also the Willie Dynamite movie.
Okay.
The Willie Dynamite movie. That's one of my other like favorites of films or whatever. And his character, like what I liked the most about him was he was just real resilient.
Okay.
Like no matter what they threw at him, no matter what happened, he just kept rolling. He kept taking the punches even when his little chicks was. You know what I mean? All the turmoil.
I know.
He ain't stopped cheating. He still rolling. That was what I liked the most about his character. He was real smooth. He was real clear. How he moved. He was like a G. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes, you right. Talk your talk.
You know what I'm saying? He did his thing. You know what I'm saying? So I just
yeah.
That character also. So just kind of like a combination of those things, and then just me, kind of my personality also.
Okay.
That's kind of
all right.
Cool.
So that's a good segue for the next question, folks. For the next question is, let's talk about that. We talked about that a little bit before when we did my interview, but I guess just a little bit more about like your upbringing, how you were brought up, and that whole thing, like your background.
Man, I'm originally from out east, from East Nashville, and I went to Inglewood and Deadwood, so you know what I mean. Sound like a bunch of lion in that interview, man.
Oh man.
Sound like a bunch of cat.
Oh, the dog's here. This is good. That's all in the background for those who are listening.
So, I ended up moving out to the Hardy Place in South Nashville area, and then I started to attend actually art school. I went to Wharton Arts Middle.
Yeah.
For visual arts.
Okay.
And then I was there from 5th through
Okay. All right. Bet. Okay.
Just throughout that, you know what I'm saying? I always had a niche for just art in general.
Okay.
Drawing specific.
Yeah.
But in my later teenage years, though, some of my real close partners was in the music, producing.
Yeah.
And I was always a real big fan of music. Even always in school, I'm always the guy who had headphones all the time, every day, every day, all the time. I always had my CD player with me all the time. So, some of my close friends, partners, was rapping, making music. So we used to, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Sometimes we used to not attend school.
I mean, that's okay.
We might, set up a little studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We used to be doing our thing, hanging out, whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of turned into more so a hobby. And then after high school, started getting a little more serious. My partner started to put together studios that were a little more put together. And so just me being around it, you know what I'm saying? I kind of started really taking a liking to it. And I felt like, the people kind of had, talent. So I, kind of really was like, these are my guys. So I feel like, man, they kind of missing the business side of it, the business aspects. I feel like, man, if I can kind of put some time and energy into it, maybe even, maybe a little money into it, and just, kind of put some collective energy into it with these guys, maybe we can kind of do something with it, because at this point, it kind of seems like it was just a hobby, but having somebody that has that mind to transition it into something else, so that's kind of how I originally got started as far as the music scene, music industry, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess growing up, what made you, and you may have touched on this before as well, I may have missed it. So in doing that, what made you want to pursue something, I guess, kind of related to music or in that field? It's just something you want to do?
It was just something I was naturally drawn to.
Okay.
Just always being just such a real, I don't even want to say I like music, I really love music.
Yeah.
For me, when I was a kid and young, listening to tapes, I remember my first tape I ever got was Chubb Rock. My first cassette tape I
Treat them right.
I still remember my first cassette tape. I still remember
that was my second tape.
My first CD ever was Missy Elliott. I still remember my first CD player. I still remember raps word for word from the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Music is a big thing to me. So, whoa, baby, what you got going on?
Man, you good, man. We got a special guest pulled to the table, man. So I gotta make sure. Yeah, man. Oh, you mind if we go live? You okay if we go live? I'll wait a second. So right now, so for Leo, so for you, man, too, it is something you didn't mention, and something I was gonna wonder and ask you was, do you still draw and stuff to this day? Are you looking to do anything with that, or?
I really don't draw for the most part, and I really got away from it the older I got, because I hate to say it, but I kind of started to not really care for it as much, because I was doing it so much, and I was taking so many classes for all those years, and I was being forced to do it.
No, you good.
Having to do it as an assignment. Go ahead.
I'll turn it off. I'm waiting till you get done, because I don't want to incriminate.
That's why I said, I really gonna do the business. That's what I'm saying. I really.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, come on, ask you some questions too.
That's cool.
All right. This is just for for the people. But go ahead, Leo. I'm sorry.
No, we'll start over. Ask a question. We'll start it all over.
Okay. I guess if y'all want to share it, man, tell people to share it or whatnot. So we thought we'd do this in reverse, and I thought I would interview Leo, because I got questions too, man.
That's beautiful. See, I know that.
But then you just popped up, and then y'all
Leo said, yeah, we just wrapped up.
We're going to have a conversation, man. We're going to have a conversation. Now, are we going to go there, man? Are you prepared to go there?
Yeah, I'm always prepared.
Listen, we're going to go. Listen, we're going to talk, because, I'll be here sometimes. I hear conversations. Some conversations we ain't gonna get into. I know there's cold and that other stuff. But
basically, I know what you mean. Let's go there.
Yeah.
The water right here. Come on, we waste some good time, baby.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead. Ask the question again.
So, well, no, I mean, you basically talked about it, so I ain't gonna go for it. So, I guess with that, for you, what made you start the podcast? We'll go there, Leah, while he's doing his thing.
That's a good question. Honestly, me being from Nashville, I can honestly and proudly say one of the first, well, pretty much the first artist to really make me tap into Nashville music and the Nashville music scene was Star Leo.
Yeah.
And that was when I was in high school, probably like maybe 9th, 10th grade, maybe. And that was like probably like the second or third mixtape, volume 2 or 3 mixtape.
Gotcha.
And just from that point on, just kind of that led to me being tapped into other Nashville artists. And like I said, with my partners, making music at the same time. So we kind of having to, know what's going on around the city, around the scene. And so really, naturally, my biggest thing was I really wanted to, highlight other people and my love for the music kind of really established so early. So it was like naturally, I always felt like Nashville never truly had a good representation as far as the mainstream. Like I never really seen a lot of big Nashville artists, and I feel like you always seen a lot of rap artists from other cities and other states, but even Memphis, you see a lot of artists from Memphis that make it on the mainstream level, but you never really see a lot of Nashville artists. So it's kind of like you almost kind of take that personal, especially being from Nashville, like I'm born and raised here.
Yeah.
And it's like being around here, you see the talent. You know what I mean? You live around these people, you see these people every day, you bumping shoulders with them, and it's like you got these individuals who are extremely talented. And I just feel like if we kind of start to create the platforms and outlets to kind of shed light on the talent that's here, it can just be an experience. We can create an experience, a personal experience for people. Like
Definitely.
Introducing them to these artists, not only as artists, but to people.
Yeah.
Or as people. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like, they're making music and they're pushing music, but at the end of the day, having so much competition, especially mainstream competition, it's almost hard to, you can kind of get lost in the shuffle. Especially, being from a city where hip hop is already not looked at with such a positive light.
True.
It's kind of easy to get looked over.
Facts.
And so, my biggest thing is, I feel like if I can kind of put together a situational platform, and I know I got the tools and the components, I got the team, we got the tools. Why not put something together that we can honestly, like, we can shed light on the artists or the individuals or the businesses that are in the city that are influential in the culture that make up what we do, and we can push that in a personal way.
Yeah, for sure.
As opposed to, we're not necessarily just pushing the music. We talking about real life things, real life situations. This is relatable things. So it's like, I want to introduce the audience to these people.
Yeah, for sure.
Not necessarily these artists.
For sure.
These are people who happen to be artists.
Yeah.
So it's like getting, making that personal connection. And it's like, then you definitely more prone to go check out their music. Once you feel like, man, I checked them out, I heard what they had to say.
Yeah.
Mentally, I was connecting with them, or I like, what they had to say, so I'm gonna go check their music out. 9 times out of 10, that's like a good selling point. So I just feel like I said, we got the tools, the components, good team to be able to put together situations like this. So just like, why not? It's almost a no-brainer, especially at the same time that we can kind of brand it and we can represent it in such a way, and this quality, and we getting looks and we getting people the representation, the quality representation that they deserve. Because it's like, like I said, having a lot of platforms and outlets, you gotta have that. You gotta have those in place to be able to match the talent.
Yeah. So I guess speaking on that, I guess another segue to another question is, what do you feel like right now that, I guess either way, what do you feel right now that either Nashville is lacking or missing, or what do you feel like people outside of Nashville are missing about Nashville? or not hip to?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay, gotcha.
I can answer that.
Okay,
one.
go ahead, O. For those who tune in, man, this is O, man. Tune in as well, so. All right, O.
I think, man, from my opinion, because it's all opinionated.
Okay.
From my opinion,
Yeah.
I think it's a lot to do with the radio stations and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like we're not in a major market. In Memphis, they play their local artists on the radio.
Yeah, for sure.
Like with the DJs do their job. You can go to Rifle and Coop and Trap and they play the music from the local artists. They got the hottest songs in the city.
Yeah.
The cats and the club and they platforms. They do what they supposed to do. A lot of times the artists really do. A lot of times artists get bad reputation for not doing what they supposed to do, but you have a few to do.
Yeah.
They got the work ethic. They put the work in.
Yeah.
But it's on the radio stations, the All Heart, Red Medias, and Cumulus, you know, to kind of feel what we got going on in the city.
Definitely.
And help catapult us.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we got artists like right now, every artist that you see from Nashville that has a buzz, they doing it without the help of the radio station.
Yeah, for sure.
Radio station ain't showing no local artists love at this point.
Why do you think that is?
Because we're not a major market and they'd rather play somebody, you'll have them play a Pooh Shiesty from Memphis before they play a Hard Liquor Shorty or even Starlito. You know, a Trapper Mandela, cats like that who really didn't broke out, that's ready to go to the next level, got the
major syndicated radio.
Right,
like
they got the.
They're not playing what's here. Like they got programming for the area or for the like it's it is what it is. Like
well, so I guess well speaking to that then, because I know for some people don't know, I know you guys are definitely behind a major female artist here, Triple Play Squeak. What made you guys decide to get behind her? What about Squeak made you guys decide, like, you know what, let me get behind? I mean, of course she's talented, but what made you guys get behind that, and how did you guys meet? How did that happen? How did y'all meet Squeak?
I'ma tell you, she really is family. She's family. To make a long, I'm finna make a long, very long story, very short. She been rapping a long time, since she's been like 4 or 5 years old. But she's family, like she's my cousin's best friend. So with that being said,
go ahead.
She's my cousin's best friend. So with that being said, he kind of introduced us to the music side of Squeak. I just knew Squeak for being Lil Squeaky. Mm-hmm. He introduced to the music side, and Leo like, hey man, that girl can really rap. You mean to tell me that you know her? That's your people?
Yeah.
And we ain't behind her.
It's crazy. Now the thing is, because it's funny because like I said, going back to what I said, I was building a team. I was working with a team of, producers and artists. These are my partners and friends from high school.
Yeah.
So at the time, I'm starting to like really develop this love for like, man, I really like being around this music. So I'm like trying to like really look for talent in artists, like build a team, trying to get a studio. So it's like, just so happened at the right time, kind of. I just so happen to be like, sometimes social media, it can be a powerful tool if it's used for the right thing.
Yeah.
I just so happen to be on.
Can you invite me? If you invite me on here, I might get some of my people to tap in.
I just so happen to. I just so happen to be on Cuz Instagram, And then one day I just seen he posted a video. It's like a little chick, man, like a little cute little, you know what I mean? She's like a little cute, sweet looking little chick, but man, she was just raw. She just spitting, going crazy, and I'm like, man, I ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I ain't never, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Like, especially in modern times, like when you see a female like this that's really spitting like this, going hard like this, you know what I'm saying? I instantly think of like a Mita X or something, like raw, like she really spitting.
Yeah.
And so when I first seen the video, I commented on the video. I was like, man, cuz, who is this? He was like, man, that's Squeak, such, man. So you gotta check her out. So I was like, dude, she got some music somewhere or something? He was like, nah, I don't think so. She might got a song on SoundCloud. So I was like, man, send it to me if you find it or something like that. So it was, a couple weeks go by, and that's when I ended up mentioning it to like, man, cuz got this little chick he was hanging with, Squeak, man. You know this girl rap or something? Like, you gotta check her out. He was like, Squeak, like, man, I know Squeak already. Like, that's my cousin friend. That's my little brother friend. He's like, yeah, she rap. He was like, I was like, man, we gotta, sit down with her, talk to her. I want to meet her or something. And so it was just like, once we really just got around her, you kind of just instantly fall in love with her. Like, she got a real sweet, genuine, just real down to earth type wanted to build with her, and it was like she already had that raw talent, and so us just having that structure, and we already got the team, we already got the mechanisms in place, we already got the tools in place. We kind of just started to put things together, you know, we could level the situation up, and even start to develop her as an artist.
Okay. So I guess my next question with that is, and I guess it's for you, Leo. While I was working out something. So I guess for you, man, I know you started the podcast and everything. For you, what is your legacy or your imprint that you want to leave, as far as like either with this or like with just national music or with yourself personally? Like, what are some things that you know? What do you want your end game to be? What is your end vision for?
Oh man, you mean for me or just for
you?
General? Man, I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah, we're gonna start off with you first.
I want to be known, you know what I'm saying? Put it like this, man. A person who, first of all, started with little to nothing, and you know, regardless of any circumstance or obstacles, able to achieve the highest, and being inspired by peers, and being able to kind of be a part of the overall scene and culture and cultivating that, and you know what I'm saying, bringing what we have here to the mainstream, like really being a part of that movement, and you know what I'm saying, being financially stable and setting a standard for what we consider to be quality, and setting a standard for what you know how we should be conducting business.
He said the long version, man. My version, I want him to be Dr. Dre. Okay. I want to be Quincy Jones.
I can see
I
that.
want Samar to be
Quincy Jones.
I want Samar to be Eminem.
Okay.
I want you to be.
I can't be 50. I ain't got no bullet holes.
50, you know what I mean?
I ain't got no bullet holes. I ain't 50 for sure.
We ain't planning on getting there.
Like when you say a dynasty.
Yeah.
When you said dynasty, like when you say 50, like the example we just said, 50 Cent, Eminem, Dr. Dre. All of those guys started off in a team capacity. Yeah. And they still work as a team. Yeah. But they all have their own business entities, and they're all bosses, and they're bosses in their own way. Yeah. But when it's time to link up and do music, they all link up. 50 know how to be the rapper. Yeah. Eminem knows how to be a rapper. Dr. Dre knows how to be a producer. But when it's time for them to boss up and be their own man and do beats by Dre and do Power and Eminem acting and whatnot, whatever they doing, they can always also be their own man. Okay. So with us building this team that we do, we also trying to build self-sustaining legacies. Like Leo is in the artist management, but he does graphic design as well too. Yeah. So artistic. You know what I'm saying? Artistic. So whatever that may lead into. Yeah. He has a podcast, whatever that may lead into. Okay. And whatever I can do to help him as my business partner, as my brother, we go elevate that. Yeah. And the same thing with the business I have as well. Yeah. He always elevate me and help elevate each other. So we work together, but we also wanna greatness, we're gonna be great together. Yeah. And we are great together. Yeah. But our individual legacies, as you say, will be something that we will have to, it's gonna come to fruition. You know what I mean? Like it is gonna happen.
And you know, and like you know, like I said, man, some things like it's a journey, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey for sure.
It's a journey. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like some things, like who knows, man? Because at the end of the day, it's a lot of things like even like, say for instance, graphic design. That's not something I planned on. Yeah. By no means. Even though I went to art school and I did art, I was very good at drawing, but I never ever had any real concept or idea, so to speak, of doing any type of graphic design. You know, I used to do stuff on like the paint program on the computer when I was young, but I'm talking like digital art and stuff. I never was really into that, and really was just kind of by necessity that I started doing it, honestly, because you know, doing these stuff, you know, doing events. You know, we're doing events, we doing clubs, we doing comedy shows, we doing tours,
y'all doing a lot,
parties, you know, so we doing all type of stuff, and it was like, it got to the point where we doing so many events that it's like we only have about 1 or 2 people at that time that we really wanted to just contract to do art design for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Flyers or posters or looks for whatever. Yeah. And it got to a point where it was almost so much work, and sometimes we might have them in an unrealistic situation. Like we might have to ask them to do something and turn around time it's unrealistic. Like we kind of like we put them in a situation like they can't win. So it kind of just so happened to be like a specific situation. I was like, man, I'm tired of having to wait for flyers and pay for flyers, and it just happened to be one time we just wanted to do a general little mock-up flyer.
Yeah.
For like a submission, just to get people to submit their emails for like for information or something like that. I think we were doing our first South by Southwest show.
Yeah.
And I think we might have just been doing a general email flyer. Just submit your email. And I was just like, man, something simple like that. We don't gotta have nothing extravagant. We can save money. I mean, I feel like I can make something at least decent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, comparable. I'm, halfway. Like I just said that I know I can do something. And so I just gave it a try. And I made something that was alright.
Yeah.
By my, say for instance, today's standards, pretty terrible, I guess. But but based on what I see still going around, it's probably what you see going around now. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, but that's kind of how I got started with it. But just over time.
I think that's a good thing. I mean, at least you got started. Like you didn't let budget and so many other different factors and different things like stop you or deter you from doing it. At least like you just like, you know what? I ain't got this, and this. I can at least do this. Let me at least jump and do this.
I mean, because the funny thing about business is you go find out a whole bunch of stuff you good at it you can do because you forcing that position.
Yeah.
Like I find myself, we setting up stages, we promoting, we passing out like.
Still learning.
I done flyers for some of the shows we done.
For sure.
I'm not artistic in no kind of way.
For sure.
But if he got 2 or 3 projects, Carl got 2 or 3 projects, we got Melvin, he's busy.
Yeah.
Guess what? Somebody got to do somebody got to do a flyer.
True. But it also ties in back to what we were saying about earlier, and I think that's like you said, like that's one of your strengths is like you didn't care, you wasn't worried about what people were gonna think. Because if you did, what most people do, that would deter them and be like, you know what? I ain't got this in place. Let me wait until I got this. Let me wait until that. Man, but the genius thing for you is like you just jumped out there and was like bumping. I ain't got this. We finna get it cracking. We finna get it popping, and this is what it is. For sure.
You don't know.
Yeah.
For probably the first 2 years of me making any type of flyers, posters, album covers, any type of design work, man, I did all that stuff on my phone.
Yeah.
Right on my phone. All of it. On my phone.
Yeah.
All of it. 100%. So, like, my mind is where I'm coming from, man. I'm used to having to make something happen with nothing all the time. This regular life.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you know where we come from.
Yeah.
This is what we do every day. This is everyday regular life. We're not thinking about don't have this. Man, we making something happen with what we got. And whatever that is, that's what we doing, man. So it's like we're gonna make the best of everything. So even with the phone, like I didn't necessarily plan on even going that far with it when I started. I wasn't planning to take it serious and start doing it for other people and doing it as a business or nothing. I'm just like, man, I can make some cool stuff in between. But I gotta pay these guys so I can save some money.
Yeah.
And I can meet these crazy deadlines because I can just make something tonight.
Yeah.
It don't have to look like what they gonna do, and I don't have to pay them either.
That's real.
So I was starting like that. That was it. That was all I cared about. But once I started doing it, I actually started liking it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this kind of cool. It kind of took me back to like drawing and just doing something, just like having fun. Like,
so you kind of answered my question because I asked you before, like, if you were still doing it, you was like, nah. But I mean, in a sense, you technically are still kind of.
Came back to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because it took my love for music and the business to bring me back to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so
sure.
it's like now, a couple more years into it, like I've been able to kind of really produce some really, really, really cool stuff, and even some, you know what I'm saying, like one of my biggest accomplishments, you know what I'm saying, I was able to produce one of the tour flyers for the Starleague on Bun B tour that we did. I was able to make one of those flyers. Like that was one of my biggest things, biggest accomplishments, and it was like just even something like that. Being able to have that opportunity is only basically provided by the business that we doing.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just like it all ties in. So it's like all the time I make it. The majority of stuff I make still to this day is for us. Still to this day. The majority of the stuff I make is for us. I mean,
except that bad ABK Gage flyer, album cover you just produced.
I still do. People contract me. People hit me up. I'll do people's work. You know what I'm saying? If it's something I feel like taking on And like, if it's something I really want to do, I definitely take something on. But majority of the time, I really just stick to doing our projects for the most part. Flyers, our album covers, our merchandise.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Even like down to like, and it's the thing, I still really like to challenge myself, and I'm still learning. Even down to all the culture for flyers and the promo videos, all that stuff. I make all that stuff myself.
Okay.
All the little promos, reels.
And so for those who watching it, man, Leo is he's the brainchild operation. Can we say that? Oh, is he part of the brainchild operation? Or is he
You talking about the phone at a time?
I mean, yeah. Or is
Hell yeah.
Okay, all right.
I am.
Okay. Okay. He's out there.
It ain't no Ford Entertainment without Leo.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you one more question, Leo, and then I'm gonna open it up for both of y'all. You said what now?
I'm part of the whole.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about. I'm listen, man. I can be pretty. I'm gonna tell you what, man. I can be pretty good by myself, but
Nothing like having a team.
man, being with people,
You got a team.
got a like mind,
And you got a solid team behind you. Let's be
People
real.
can also inspire you, push you, motivate you. It's gonna bring the best out of you. You know what I'm saying?
And on some voice guys, on some trustworthy, loyal, helpful, kind, courteous, like on the things of like just general personality traits, man. I can't find a better business partner, man.
That's
like real talk.
No, I mean, like all of you guys, like the whole team, like y'all for sure do damage, and I don't think
We don't always agree. We argue.
Oh, listen, you have to be there to see it.
We fuzz.
But see, but the thing I like about it is like behind the scenes, you gonna see it. Like I know, like for Comedy and Soul, like when I show up, we was talking about this earlier when Ryan was in the room. I was like, the way y'all be talking to each other, it be so grimy and disrespectful. But like when the actual events going on, it be like y'all be coordinating. It be like, hey, you got this, you got this. But before that, when y'all setting up and doing all that, you gotta see it.
Ain't no friendship.
That's what I said. You gotta see it. Listen, but no, y'all friends too.
I mean, that's my guy, but
it be the way y'all be doing it. You know.
We have to hold each other accountable.
Yeah. And y'all do.
And I'm gonna tell you what, man. Like,
Y'all definitely do that.
I'll be honest, man. I'm the type of person, man. I just like, I don't know, man. I like being just. It ain't even I like it. It's just who I am.
Yeah.
Very straightforward.
Yeah.
Very authentic. Very real.
Yeah.
And so it's like I don't like having to be so considerate of everything. And just I like having to be around people that's gonna be able to talk to me directly and straight, and I'm gonna talk to them directly and straight.
Yeah.
And even if we disagree, that's cool. But I don't like nothing to worry and guess, and we doing his feelings and all this back.
Yeah.
No, we ain't doing all that. We just gonna talk straightforward. Even if we disagree, we can cuss like men. We can disagree. I'm cool with all that. Ain't even no feelings involved. But we gotta be goal oriented, and we got a mission to accomplish.
And y'all definitely like that. And I think I like just from being and on the outside looking in, it's like you guys are definitely like that. Like you guys will definitely joke and you definitely have that, but like when y'all have serious conversations, like and it's funny because it's like until you like actually in the room, like I said, the times like I've come up here and got my hair cut, like y'all will discuss so many different topics. You never know who gonna walk in, and it'd be like an impromptu meeting. Like even like I be getting my hair cut, and like Carl walk in, and he may have like an associate of his, and y'all still talking business. And then like a few minutes later, y'all like listen to music, y'all joking, you know, talking whatever, and then y'all back to it, and it's just like the way you all like interact and work with each other is definitely a blessing. It's also like, especially a beautiful thing seeing like black men do it. Cause a lot of like black men are like, you know, they want to be like it. I want to be like, you know, like it's me and my company. Like ain't no room for everybody else, but the way y'all rock.
I gotta tell you that. I gotta take credit for that because I had to find out the hard way.
Yeah.
Not saying they weren't built like that or they wasn't in the spirit.
Yeah.
But I asked them.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, hey Leo, I see what you like. Leo, it wasn't like Leo, hey,
can we give all
the
he is kinda like the glue. Can we give him the glue? Can we get we'll give him that.
Because listen, now I'm just saying.
You are the glue.
Because I'm the oldest too.
Well, I mean, you are the glue.
But I'm telling you why though. It's because I've been. But let me say this though. I've had my experience.
Let me say this. A quick backstory going back to it. And this is kind of we talked about episode 1. See, even before the music really took off, that was something that more so I was doing as a personal hobby with my friends. Right?
Yeah.
O was doing party promotion and club events.
Yeah.
And so really, the marriage happened when I so happened to have the first artist that I really was like starting to believe in. I was like, man, I think my friend who's the producer, shout out to P, Pyro, shout out to P. I said I really liked this music that they were working on at that time, and they were working on a specific little project. So I was like, man, I went and talked to O, because like I said, O is obviously party club promoter.
Yeah.
That's who at the time. So I was like, man, I really want to put an event together, I think. Because I talked to them like, man, what y'all want to do with this project? Like, you just going to put it out? Man, let's do an event. Let's do a release party. So I came and talked to O like, man, I think I want to do a release party for this event and put something together. And so that's where the marriage happened naturally, right there at that point. That was kind of where we went from the artist, me having a hobby of trying to mess with and manage artists, and the club and party promoting, to the kind of business kind of at that. But we didn't know it yet.
Okay.
That was pretty much the start of it right there.
Okay.
And so going into it, he was already like a big brother figure to me. Outside of anything else personal, it was just personal first.
Yeah.
And then, going along with the party promoting, club promoting, I started helping do it and just taking a liking to it just because it's business oriented.
Yeah.
But I'm just helping. Just around, helping, learning. I'm just naturally, if I'm around something, I'm going to start learning. I'm going to start learning this business.
Be a sponge.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just soaking up the business, seeing what's going on, club, party promoting stuff. And then, once I started applying that to what I was doing, and I would be bringing that back, like, this is what I'm working on. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like my piece, because like I said, music and artists was always kind of like my thing.
Yeah.
And so, kind of like, once I would always bring the situations back, it was like, I know that once I bring it to him, I can really make something happen. You know what I'm saying? This is the person I trust to be able to help me bring my visions to life.
Yeah.
This is the person I trust as a personal friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like a big brother figure. So I'm knowing already, if I go to him with any type of situation, if I believe in it and I'm willing to put my money and my time and my energy and effort into it, I know he is too.
Yeah.
And so that's how we were kind of able to kind of make that happen and get started.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, question for you too. If you want me to, I can go back on live.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask y'all some personal questions. Trick, you want to jump in?
Yeah.
You sure? You okay? You tired?
Nah, I ain't tired. He just grumpy.
All right. So y'all ready for the personal questions?
We good.
Oh, you ready for the personal questions?
No.
Oh, you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
So I guess the first question for you guys is, and we talked about this kind of earlier, I guess, with like Nashville artists, but what do you guys feel as nowadays, because I know you guys are kind of like old school, you guys are used to kind of, music and the way things were back, kind of like back in the day, not today, y'all. What do you guys feel right now is, if you had to pick, we'll say, I'll give y'all, make it easy, we'll say two. If you had to pick two things that you see a lot of artists are doing well today, or utilizing, like good resources that they're utilizing, what are two things each that you guys feel like artists are doing right today, the right way?
In Nashville?
Or just period?
I can answer that.
Okay, two things.
Social media.
Okay,
Man,
that's one.
that's what I'm about to say. Making money. Like, it's a lot more money in the game today than it was. Like, right now, modern music is taking care of way more people. Okay. Especially black people.
Yeah.
Than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Okay.
Like, the entities from the videographers on the local level to the major level, down to the producers, studio engineers, to the artists themselves, to the underground artists. You got a whole underground culture of people getting paid $3,500, $10,000 to show underground right now that's booked up every other weekend. Every weekend it's doing shows, it's profitable, making money. And you couldn't do that in 96.
True.
It wasn't an underground scene like that. It wasn't cohesive like that. So artists are making money to take care of their family nowadays, man.
Okay, what else?
Salute that.
What else?
That's probably my biggest one that I noticed. Outside of that, I like right now we're getting back into artists having a social responsibility. Like, they kind of died out a little while. Yeah. But now, even before what we see in the modern times, artists have went back to that. Like the Kendricks and Coles and the Isaiah Rashads, even Lido and Hamby, cats I know personally and whatnot. They have a social responsibility, and they get messages across to audiences that wasn't tuned in to us. Like, it wasn't white people. Young white Americans are listening to hip hop at an all-time high right now. For
Yeah.
So those are the ones fighting on the front lines with us right there at the riots and the protests and everything
and they
like
tearing
that.
up too.
It is
sure,
because
so,
they've been ingrained into our culture and they did it through the music.
Yeah.
The music is a gateway to the fashion, it's a gateway to our
everything.
lives.
Yeah.
To everything. That comes through the music.
For everything.
So you got young artists right now putting on the right way. You still gonna have ignorance and you gonna have a certain demographic.
And there's a place for it.
Always be there.
There's a place for it.
But definitely, we got the professionalism. You got Coach K's and QC. You got a new improved Gucci man. You got Money Man.
He thought he was the clone for the longest.
we got vegan rappers, man.
That's real.
We got vegan rappers, bro. In 2020.
Yeah.
That's from the streets, though.
We're going to touch on another touching subject as well in a minute. I guess, Leo, what are your two that you feel like people are doing right?
Like I said, utilizing social media and getting show money.
Okay. So, for you two, I guess, right now, what is the biggest thing that you see people are not doing? Artists. Like, what is the biggest thing you see people are not taking advantage of and not doing?
The biggest thing I see just off the, and I had to realize it too for the artists we work with, that making sure your product is the best before you put it out there. You got too many people, they'll come like, we in DJ Rifle studio right now, and I see him take a studio session, and he'll bounce somebody down a rough mix, just something they can have, something to listen to their music, and instead of getting it finalized and getting that mix and master, they'll put that out just like that. And that's not a good representation of your music.
Oh, yeah.
Or your craft.
Well,
and there's too many people doing that right now.
Do you feel like they don't know any better, or they just...
They know, because you book here, DJ Rifle go tell you, hey, I charge this much to mix it, master it, put the product out. Then when you listen to the artists that you really like, if Migo's your favorite rapper, or somebody, you listen to their music, then you listen to your music, it's gonna sound different.
Okay, gotcha. What are you doing? Nah, man, we have some discussion. I got more questions, man. Keep doing, man.
Wow.
How you gonna get up in an interview, man? Cause he's scared about my answer these questions. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm scared of your questions, man. I don't want to be.
Don't get into the personal stuff. Get into this.
No. This is good. This is good. So I guess he done changed sides. Okay, Leo done changed sides. So
you about to get the real deal. Everybody know this.
Hey man, we in there. We lit. We live. So I guess to segue to the question I was going to ask you about you guys is, and I know it may be a touchy subject for some. What do you guys feel about? So recently I saw today about Nicki Minaj doing the song and video with Tekashi 6ix9ine, and so part of that.
Nicki Minaj did a song too with him.
Yeah,
outside Akon.
She's doing one with him, and part of it is I'll put the footage for you in a minute. But I know part of it is they're raising money. Most of the money is going to a charity, so they're raising money for those. I think it's for people needing bail. So it's like some big bail company and stuff like for those needing bail, donating, like they'll help you. Like I guess.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj could have done that by herself, right?
She could have.
And she could have maybe got Drake to help out, right?
She could have.
Because of the relationship.
Yeah.
Even got Lil Wayne to help out too because of the relationship. Birdman too, right?
For sure.
So they got relationships with Jay Prince too, right?
Everybody, yeah.
And she's in New York and the biggest, so she can get access to Jay-Z, right? Because she's a queen, right?
Yeah. But somebody, yeah.
But why are you doing music with someone that's a snitch? And see, this the thing. I used to have it all wrong. See, I used to think that it was snitching if you breaking Miss Lois' house 2 doors down and Miss Lois don't do what you do. You breaking Miss Lois' house and I ain't gonna tell on you for breaking in Miss Lois' house. I'm gonna tell on you for breaking in Miss Lois' house. If you call that snitching, I'm snitching.
Yeah.
But if you partaking in the same thing that the next man partaking in and you tell on him and you were doing the exact same thing, say them boy Miss Lois selling drugs.
Yeah.
And Miss Lois get robbed cause Miss Lois selling drugs. Old Carter don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what y'all gotta work that out. The universe gonna take care of whatever they need to take care of.
Yeah.
But if you breaking Miss Lois' house, Miss Lois don't think I'm gonna go to work every day and I see Otis go tell.
Yeah.
Whatever my background is, you call that what you call it, it's cool, and I'm gonna accept that. But that's not snitching to me. But Tekashi 6ix9ine, he put hits out. If people don't know what a hit is, he put an order of death on black men. On black men in this country Then, when it was time to get out of jail because somebody did exactly what he wanted to do to the other people, somebody did it to him, he told on them folks.
Yeah.
I can't respect it. And then we got a whole bunch of super rich celebrities that's doing music with him under the disguise of it's for charity and it's for this and it's for that. Nah, y'all set it out, man.
Yeah.
You're against the culture, bro.
So that's my question.
You got Akon, his whole label is called Convict Music.
Yeah.
Convict
Apparently
Music,
yeah.
and he's doing a song with a rap.
Yeah. So I guess my question to you guys is, because y'all are kind of in the industry as well, I mean, have a foot in the industry. For you guys, why do you think people, like you said, because Nicki's got all the connections, she got all these different things, why do you feel that she has to have, or even Akon to feel the need to do that?
Because I don't think when you get that big, they don't make decisions no more themselves. The label tell you, hey, Nick, I think you need to get in the studio and we're going to do this with this person and we're going to, so that's why I always respect the artist is not trying to be the biggest in the world, but they want to be financially stable and maybe use that money for making music in other avenues, like a money man who owns dispensaries, real estate and whatnot. He's never seen the kind of money Nicki Minaj gonna make off music, but he owns farms, lands and stuff like that. He doesn't have to go down that road to compromise his character, his brain, and do music.
I still respected him because I listened to the interview he did with Scream and Bang.
And Big Bang, yeah.
Yeah, and he was talking about that, and I learned a lot about him. Like he said, like he got a house in Hawaii and he's got his own. He grows his own weed and stuff like that. And I was like, man, the whole nine. And he said like he does his own thing. And like even though, kind of even with the music, I mean. I don't know, I guess it's kind of like what you guys were saying as well, as far as like, you know, making sure you put the best thing out. I know part of the thing that what he was saying was that like when he puts his stuff out, it's like if he likes it, and he may record something in like a night, a whole album, like a day or two, and then he would just put it out. But, I didn't ask you, Leo, I guess what are your thoughts about that? About the whole, why you feel like people have to want to work with 6 9 and feel like they have to do that? Why it's important? Why even do it in the first place? Why even risk it? Because I mean, you're talking about like Nicki and Akon, like you're talking about like some big stars.
And Nicki,
like,
I just think Nicki just outright sold out. Akon's a little bit more difficult because Akon's done some great stuff for humanity.
Exactly.
Like for humanity.
Exactly.
But this is, I'm very technical and I'm very deep and we on live and I'm finna just be honest with you. Because I know I got an audience.
That's why I had to break it up. I gave y'all the disclaimer.
I know it's people
we talking about it. We there, man. We talking about it.
It's people listening to me.
We talking about it.
Listen, man.
Get this talk.
I believe Akon is about water to villages in Africa and cities in Africa that didn't have water, power.
Yeah.
He's done great things in the Africa, in the continent, on the continent of Africa, in certain nations and tribes or whatnot, villages. He's done great things. He's a guy. Even to me, I got a level of respect for Akon that I don't have for a lot of individuals. But that's the same. People don't recognize the detriment of that because I think the same influence is that heavy to the bad side. Because therefore you'll have young kids engaging in activities that they know they're not ready to suffer the consequences for.
Yeah.
But they know they got an exit strategy now. They got a cop out. I can tell because I can snitch, even though I constantly did what I did. And I constantly bought and participate in this behavior. I can take down another man with me and get away scot-free because the most popular young rappers doing it, and the guy that all the guys called OG said it's cool. So you might have a guy, you know what, man, I might want to dibble and dabble in this. It ain't too serious. I want to do trade fraud. I want to do forgery or something like, you know what I mean? I want to do that. But you know what? I might well say hair wrong because if I get caught, I just snitch my way out of it.
Facts.
So instead of being a little petty criminal, he jump all the way out there and does something he don't have no business doing. And it's a trickle down effect. I think it'd be detrimental, bro, to our society, to our fabric, man.
Yeah.
We already got a lot of these young boys thinking that's the route to go. Now they can think that's the route to go and I don't have to suffer any consequences.
I'm gonna get major artists to co-sign and collab with me on a feature.
Like, I think it could be detrimental, man.
Yeah.
I think it'd be detrimental, like for real.
Why do you think they did it then, I guess? What are y'all's process behind it? I mean, they don't need it, really.
Because people are always gonna hide behind money at the end of the day. They're gonna say I did it for money and I can help somebody do something with, cause I got the money and we can do this with the money. But yeah, people, and that's simpler, and that is what it is.
So I guess with you guys, and I guess because I know like you guys are definitely two of the most solid people that I know. For you guys, I know like it's always of course bigger than money with you guys. Where do you guys think that comes from? Like in your like upbringing, like how you were raised. Where do you guys think that comes from?
What you mean, me personally?
Both of y'all personally, like just being men. We gonna get further than that too.
I mean, I guess it's just been having a true sense of like moral value of some degree. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to even explain. Like, I don't even know how to realistically put it into words. Like, it's just something that you're born with, I guess. Like, I'm not, put it like this. There are certain things that I want, but how bad do I want them is the question. Mm-hmm. And if I gotta compromise who I am, what I stand for, what I believe to get certain things, I'm just cool without them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool without them, bro.
I don't feel like I'm doing so bad. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing so bad at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sure. It's like, that's just it. I don't feel like I'm doing that bad. So whatever the things are that people feel like they have to, all the extras they have to obtain, or they want to go to the, you know, doing the things, the compromise or whatever. Hey man, maybe they feel like they really need those things that bad. Maybe they feel inadequate. Maybe something about them feels like they have to have those things to make me feel whole. Right. I just don't feel that way. Gotcha. So me having to go that far to get those things, I'm cool. I'm gonna work hard and I'm gonna try my hardest. But if that's not good enough, then I'm just cool without it. Right. Whatever that is, I'm not gonna sacrifice who I am, who I stand for, what I believe in. I'm just not gonna do it.
So I guess for you guys, because I know, and some, I guess this would be interesting for some people listening too, for you guys. So for you guys personally and individually, what is your definition of a man?
I don't think it's a clear-cut definition, man. That might sound...
Well, in your words. In
my words, I can't say that. Because, I mean, I can't give you a definition of a man, because some people, like, societal might say, hey, man, a man is tough.
This is you. This is your words.
My words, that's what I'm saying.
Man can be so many things.
Okay, so for you guys, if you guys look at someone and you say, you know what, I respect you as a man. What kind of characteristics or what is that?
That means you are who you are. I mean, like, you have a certain level of compassion, honor, morals.
Okay.
You live by a certain creed.
Yeah. And
I might notice it, or I might just know you. You know what I mean? Or I might notice you are, but everybody does stuff behind closed doors that you don't know about, and they fall short. So I don't just.
That's good for someone like listening. Maybe might not know that. Like,
right. I mean, everybody. Me myself.
I mean, yeah.
Behind closed doors, I fall short. I try to bring my best foot forward when I step out and represent myself well, and represent people who believe, my family, my parents, my wife, my son. But I fall short. I use language that might not necessarily be the best. I might catch myself looking at some retarded imagery on the phone, and something gets sucked in, and something I know that's retarded, that's ignorant. So everybody falls short, but it's the guy that can be righteous the most
and continue to make conscious.
Right, make conscious effort
continuously.
If you know, and you gotta be able to admit you're wrong.
Okay. Right. So I guess with that, like, what do you guys feel as men that we're missing nowadays that we're not capitalizing on or doing? I mean, other than like what you guys said.
Other men, like real big homies, real big dogs, OGs. I think that's why I know that's another thing to make me move a certain way, cause I know other people are watching me. Mm-hmm. And I had big homies that kept me out of situations when I wanted to jump out there and do something stupid. I had people like Sean Pimp to tell me, hey man, that ain't for you, that ain't you. You might be doing something, but that ain't for you. So I had a real big homie.
Yeah.
My big homie was the one that started the neighborhood cleanups.
Yeah.
So when you see me doing the neighborhood cleanups, I give honor to Sean the Pimp, because I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Even though we was moving around in the neighborhood, we was doing God knows whatever in the hood, but we cleaned it up at least.
Yeah.
So guess what? That was embedded in me from somebody else.
Gotcha.
So it's not nothing's original, nothing is new under the sun. It's just who you look up to. So I try to be the guy that somebody else look up to.
Yeah.
So when somebody like get inspiration from me, because it's Pimp a couple years older than me. So if somebody that don't know him, they know me.
Yeah.
So they see me doing it, they might spark what he sparked in me. You understand? So that's what it is, man. We missing the real big homies. I seen some stuff going on in the city, and I seen one of the young bucks that I noticed moving around commenting. He was like, bro, y'all big homies, who we supposed to look up to if y'all participating in this kind of activity?
That's facts, okay.
And it's the thing about it. Nobody's saying don't participate in that activity, because as men, some things might have to happen. You might have to go and drop your, but you don't have to promote it.
Yeah.
I'm not always a nice guy. If you disrespect me, fam, I can go there.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna ever post anything for that kind of energy to be my representation.
Gotcha.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to think smart, man. And I think that's what a lot of the big homies don't do right now. We got a few, you got a lot that do the right thing, but you also got a lot that lead these guys down destruction.
Gotcha.
Hey man, I wanna grab a pack of heroin. Bet, go on, and they sell you the pack. They sell it to them. Instead of saying, no man, why don't you just mess around and I'll help you knock these Jordans off. Or bro, why don't you, I flash 40,000, have a bankroll flat this big. But then my homie know how to wash cars. He washing cars at the car wash. Let me put him in a little van, a little Sprinter for $2,500, and let him pressure wash these cars.
Yeah.
You got cats that know these boys good at something, but keep them going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Leo good at graphic design, but just cause I said crack, I'm gonna put the crack in his hand instead of putting that iPad in his hand. We don't have the right big homies, man. Our big homies ain't doing their job right.
So I guess you guys,
honest with you.
What qualifies you to be a big homie? What qualifies for someone to be a big homie?
When you transform your mind, cause you don't necessarily have to be. Big homies come in different shape, forms, and fashions. Everybody not a criminal.
Yeah.
So everybody not gonna look up to the big homie that shot 4 cats and did this big. You're not gonna be the big homie to the guy that had structure and discipline in his household, but he like them girls, and he don't know how to keep it in his pants, but he's 16, 17. He don't care nothing about death and destruction. He ain't never gonna sell nothing to try to sell nothing. He just need help with these females and just some discipline enough to keep his head on straight. But you got somebody who done been through that. He was a player type cat. He went to college. He did that. He could be his big homie.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a certain direction. Depends on you. You gravitate towards this. You gravitate towards the guys you want to be like, or the guys that see something in you and they supposed to pick you up. So the qualification of a big homie can be different as long as you see the big picture in life and you not leading these guys down the wrong path. You a big homie.
Okay, so I guess this is good for another segue question. For you guys, what is the best piece of advice you've gotten? Either from anybody, big homie, whatever. What's the best advice you've got? Piece of advice you've got?
Single-handedly, probably one of the best pieces of advice I ever got was just never stop working in the grind. It'll always catch you.
Okay. All right.
Mine came from my daddy. You don't know too much, you can't do too much.
That's real. All right. What's the worst piece of advice you've got?
Man, meet me over here and come pick this up, man. I got a way you to make some whole bunch of money, man. That's the worst piece of advice I ever got. That's the worst piece of advice I ever got.
Hey, man, he had a little money for you, man.
I can't even think of anything else off my head.
Yeah, well, we on live too, so don't incriminate yourself.
Yeah, I don't even know the worst. Who knows?
I guess for you guys, especially, being, like I said, speaking on the same topic of men and what's going on right now, what are you guys' thoughts and, I guess, emotions on what everything's going on socially, like with George Floyd, police brutality, racism, that kind of thing?
My personal thoughts is it's kind of crazy because it's something that we all, and it's sad, man. And I really just had some time to just really, really, really reflect, man. It's just like the biggest thing about And it's even crazy, just like, we all play like we don't know about it. Or not even say that, but it's so normal that people don't even, it's like no one's all like, it's just so normal. It's like, it's everyday life.
Yeah.
And we all know it is. Like, we all know it's everyday life. And it's like, nobody truly knows mentally the psyche of what that can do to a person. It's like, when you know any type of interactions you have with these people of any kind could go totally sour and potentially cost you your freedom or your life. At any point. Like, you always have this in the back of your mind. Every single time.
Yeah.
Every interaction.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Like, you really, and it's like.
And the thing about that is, this is the difference between white people and black people. Because I think white people think about that too sometimes. Some certain white people. But they don't think that they finna be picked on.
Yeah.
Like, if I happen to get pulled over, it could go wrong.
Yeah.
We are expecting to get pulled over.
And it go wrong.
And it go wrong because we get pulled over more even though we're a certain demographic of the population. We 13% of the population, but we get policed the hardest.
Yeah.
So we had the most interactions by far per capita, per percentage of any race and ethnicity in the country.
Yeah.
Right.
Why are our interactions at all at so high?
Yeah.
Why are you over policing the black people?
Why so many of them going so badly? And it's like, even, and it's like, and it's funny because, we do shows and, we travel. A lot of times we travel, we traveling by car, by truck, van, or whatever. Everybody knows, man, this is the thing. I don't care where you going. Any in-between cities, man, going somewhere, you already know what's going on. Going anywhere.
Yeah.
You in between cities, man, you already know what's going on, man. You probably shouldn't stop. You probably don't need to be in this area for real. Like, there's any in between anywhere. Like, going anywhere in the country. If you in between some big cities, in between some states, you already know what you're dealing with. You already know it.
And I'm gonna tell you how crazy that is. He made a point, I gotta speak on this one. There's certain cities, in between cities, that don't stop at those cities. And it's been like that for 50, 60, 70 years.
Like, you don't even get out there.
And I'm gonna give you one.
Period.
Coleman, Alabama. Yeah. I'm at Alcorn in the early 2000 to 2005. I'm at Alcorn State University. I'm going home every other weekend with my partners, Duran and Nate. We in Tuscaloosa, T-Town. And while we riding through, or we going up and down the road to Birmingham or whatnot, they say, hey man, don't stop in Coleman, Alabama. My daddy said we've had bad experiences, and my daddy said his dad is a little bit younger than my daddy, in his early 60s at this point. They was in their late 40s or something at that point. He was like, my daddy said it was a sign that said, niggas come, but niggas don't leave. It was some of that interpretation. Or niggas don't get caught here at night.
Yeah.
It was some of that.
Think about that.
Sundown time.
Everybody knows what that is.
But listen though, this what's the crazy part about it. I had that conversation with them boys from Alabama. Never mentioned it to my daddy at all, because like you say, he's already had the conversation. We socially conscious from the beginning. But I never had that conversation with my daddy. When I do have that conversation with my dad, I might be 30 years old. This is 6-7 years past my college experience.
Yeah.
And I happen to tell him what my boys told me. But he went to TSU, so he's traveling 65 since 1971. And my grandma went to TSU, so before it was 65, it was a highway.
Yeah.
Guess what town they said don't stop at? Coleman, Alabama. So Coleman, Alabama had the same identity of black people not allowed or not supposed to stop here for 60, 70 years. Since the 40s. Black people not supposed to stop in Coleman, Alabama. So guess what? We did the same. Another story. We went to had a Starlito show in Kingsport, Tennessee. We go into the show. We get off on the back road, go through the show. Boom, boom, boom. I really never understood. I really never, even though I knew these towns exist, I never knew what you called them. We go through a show in Kingsport, and we go through a city called, or a municipality called Beach Creek. Beach Creek, what's the other name? I forgot the other nickname they called it. But anyway, my partner was like, hey man, which way y'all come in? Y'all turn the wrong way to get in. I'm like, bro, we came the right. We took a left to get to y'all. He like, y'all took a left.
Yeah, and I was like, we came through a real windy.
Well, he said, what?
Like a hilly area. It was windy. He was like,
what? Like this is one of my tough guys too. Like crazy, one of my tough guys, masculine, macho man friends.
Prison and everything. He
said, what?
Man, don't y'all
ever go that way no more. Bro, y'all could have died. He said, we don't even go back there. He said, my white friends from here don't go there.
Right. That's what he was like, literally.
He said, hey man, matter of fact, when we go to the venue in a few minutes, I want you to ask this guy, dude named Polar Bear. Big old white dude, his name is Polar Bear. So imagine what he looked like. He's 6'5", 300 pounds. He wide as a Buick, straight up and down. And I said, Polar Bear, what's the first thing come to mind when I say Beach Creek? He said, incest. I said, how many times you been? He said, bruh, I'm 39 years old. I only been back there one time my whole life when I was 14 to smoke a joint. And I've never been back since. It's a white dude. And he said, man, that's a sundown town. I'm 30-something years old, realizing what a sundown town was. That's the first time I heard the phrase sundown town. We looking up, we driving the rest of the tour. We drive looking at sundown towns, looking at towns we not supposed to stop at East Tennessee. Johnson City, Bristol, Kingsport, you good. Don't stop nowhere till you get to Knoxville. Don't stop nowhere till you get to Nashville. Yeah. Cooksville even frame you, man. It ain't even safe to stop in Cooksville no more.
I do it during the day when I go to Knoxville. I mean, it's during the day.
That's one of my most famous videos of police framing a black man was Cooksville. It's on YouTube.
Man, but like when you really just like, I'm talking about.
I fuck with the Chick-fil-A and keep it moving.
I'm talking about like just stop for a second. Really think about what we're saying, bro. Everyday normal life.
I think the thing that would trip me out was like what he was talking about, and it being like 60-something years, and like it's still that. Like,
the reputation still.
In 2020, people still like, look, that's a sundown town. Don't you drive through there,
bro? Let me tell you one.
2020.
No, I forgot about this story. I'm North Alabama. I had an old red Chevrolet truck, man. It's 2009, 2008, 2009. I'm on my way. I just go buy my truck. I'm on my way back to Nashville. I don't have no tag on my truck and nothing. I forgot the name of the town. It's past. I'm above Coleman, but I'm not quite in Huntsville.
Okay.
Athens, maybe? Not Athens. It was another. I forgot the name of the city. But anyway, I stop at the truck. What's the name of it? TA. One of the TAs or pilots or something. One of the truck stop joints, man. And I'm in the car. My phone went dead. My wife waiting on me to get back. It's about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm about 2 hours from the crib. My phone dead. I got an old truck. My cigarette lighter barely works. I go buy one of those plugs. Now I stop at so I can plug my phone up. Yeah. The manual plug. I get to my car. I'm in the fiddling with the packaging. I see a young lady, a white girl, waving her hand out the window, bro. This 2008, now 2009. Put this in perspective. 2008, 2009. White girl waving her hand. I cracked my window. She said, "What's wrong? I let my window all the way down. Like, what's going on?" She said, "Sweetheart, I advise you to go and get on the road." I was like, "What you talking about?" You know, I'm carrying and everything. You know, I ain't had no problem with anything. I'm carrying and everything. She said, I advise you to get on the road. I'm like, "What you talking about?" She said, "Honey, I seen the way those white guys in there were looking at you. And you see these kids in the back." I look in the back, I didn't even know it was a kid. I look in the back, she got 2 mixed kids in the back. She said, "Yeah, they ran me out of town because I got a baby by a black man. And I'm just in visiting my mama for a couple hours and I'm finna head back now. But trust me, they'll call the police on you in a heartbeat. You might well go and get them in." Just like that. This 2008,
you gotta
dude.
tell me twice.
This 2008.
Yeah.
Don't that surprise me? This 2008, bruh.
That's crazy.
Don't that surprise me, man. White girl trying to tell me that I ain't safe in an Alabama city at a well-lit truck stop because they go call the police and the police go try to pull me over on the side of the road somewhere up the highway by myself.
They gonna do you dirty.
Come on, bro.
Black man, they call the police in the middle of Alabama. Come on, man, you know what's going on.
You know what's gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, this is normal. The fact that this is normal.
Yeah.
Like, these things are normal. It's like, we all know it, man. We know this stuff is normal. And we gotta stop. Like, we gotta challenge that, man. Like, this stuff can't be normal, man. Like, I don't, it's just crazy the fact that it takes stuff like that for people to be this outraged.
One thing too, I think, and I said like my experience is a little different because like I said, I grew up and came from like Knoxville. So painting a picture, like my high school had like 1,600, 1,700 students, maybe like 30 or 40 was black. So like I grew up in that whole thing, so I learned how to maneuver. So like it was, imagine for me coming from that, and then like I said, when I went to Wiley College in Texas, it was an HBCU. Going from that to like an HBCU with all black people, it was just like a huge culture shock. And I think, and I make that point because I think is what I've seen is a lot of friends of mine who are white. I think some of them, like some of the women I know, like have black boyfriends, so they kind of get it, but they only kind of get it because it's like they've been with them in the car when they get pulled over or something.
They start to see,
and they be like, "Wait a minute, this is bullshit. Like he wasn't even doing nothing. Like he just." Yeah. It's like, wait, but then you got other people like who don't see it, and I think it's like they don't see it because it's like they're not around it. And I think when you paint that picture, then they get it. But for most people, they're just like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When you can't exist simply as a human being, like you don't have to be doing anything.
Yeah.
When you just can't simply exist as a human being, like bro, that's a big problem.
But when you're not a human being to them people, that's the thing. That you are an animal.
Yeah.
You were classified as an animal 100 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a generation and a half.
Yeah.
100 years ago? That's my daddy's grandmama. You see what I mean? That's my daddy's grandmama. So he hearing stories. My dad is 67 years old and from Moss Point, Mississippi. My grandmama made him drink out the white only water fountain because the Negro water fountain was dirty. He's 67 and can tell me experiences when he was 4 or 5 years old, seeing the double-sided water fountains.
Yeah.
You want to consider the human being.
Yeah.
And even though we were classified on paper as being human, we did civil rights. When was that? 60, 68, 69?
Yeah.
Come on, that's 60, 70 years, bro.
Yeah.
Of legislation of us being human. We ain't even talking about the psychology of changing the way people treat us.
Right.
We haven't been, so we can't even search for their approval. Like that's the thing. I don't look for. If you want to be a friend of mine and you white, we go coexist together. Like I'm not trying to do anything to prove anything to you.
Yeah.
If anything, you gotta prove something to me.
Yeah.
If anything, because I'm not proving anything to you.
Yeah.
Because you're not marginalized.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna talk how I talk. I'm gonna be how I am. I'm gonna fight for the cause I fight with. If you choose to still love me and be with me, and you a white dude or a white woman, you trust me. You the truth, cause you know how I am. And I don't sugarcoat that. That's for real. I mean that.
So another question for you guys, let's get, I guess more, not as serious. Have you guys ever interracially dated before?
Hell nah.
Or dated like a white girl or anything?
Something like that.
What was the experience like? Without I guess going into detail.
Nah, I definitely talk about it because I did it that one time, and that one time was enough for me to figure out.
That was my experience.
It's just different, you know what I'm saying? Like it's real different. Like honestly, and I can honestly say trying it really gives you a true, honest, like scope of how out of touch white people can be. Like,
okay.
It really does. Like it gives you true perspective because it's like you see just how different their everyday life is firsthand and vice versa. So it's like both people get to see firsthand how different these like backgrounds, how different our lives are. All
yeah.
That. And it's just like, it's sometimes it can be really hard to miss that. And it's like, you might have a progressive mind, but your parents probably don't.
Right.
Or your grandparents.
And see,
Right.
and that was
And
my
if you
thing.
ain't willing to cut them off,
Yeah.
and if you ain't willing to cut them off, for your relationship, that means you straddling the
Or
fence.
say for your cousins, your homegirls, some of your friends at church, or some of your co-workers, like somebody's not cool with it.
Yeah.
And they just not
Well,
gonna be cool
but
with
see,
it.
growing up, like I said, my mom and moms, they made it known. They was just like, if you ever do, don't bring it to the house. And if you get married, we not coming. And that always stuck with me. So like, it wasn't until
And people,
I left Knoxville, went somewhere else, and then came here, and then like even was here for some years, and then finally I was just like, you know what, like this is crazy. Like how come I ain't never? And the reason why I never did was because I had that in my head.
But let me tell you why though.
I learned my lesson when I did it.
Your mama didn't tell you that because she hate white people either.
She's saving you from something.
She know that you not gonna be treated right.
True.
And she knows that
How
you
people not gonna fully love you,
Yeah.
and she from Knoxville in a certain area that you gotta respect that she has experiences that you don't know nothing about
Facts.
that she probably won't tell you about.
Facts.
And her intuition is something serious. She know for a fact you would not be accepted into their household, and it might even cost your life in some instances.
She looked out for you.
That's being honest.
Nah, she did.
For real, like on some real stuff, because like, and it's crazy because like I said, even when I did it, it was just like being able to see that experience and having that experience firsthand. It's just like, man, like this is totally different. Like this is really different. Like,
Yeah.
like man, and you really see that, and it's like you once you do.
I never got that far with it. Like mine ended kind of bad, but people I know that do that, like that's part of like their reason they're saying this is like it's hard for her and him to identify with like the culture. And it's like, you know, like even back when we was talking about watching like the Jeffersons and stuff like that, like they would watch it and it's like, you know, we kind of get, and we like to call this certain stuff, like there's certain dynamics and certain things like we get.
But they underlining humor.
Yeah, but like they watch it, it's kind of like, or they be laughing at it, and like my homeboy of mine, he said like he would, like his girl, like she's white, and he used to like, they'd be watching something like that, and she would just laugh at something that just wouldn't be funny. But like to her, it's funny, like that ain't, like, granted, like it's a black show, like they're cracking jokes, it's like, that ain't really that funny. And she died laughing, it's like,
or the goofy. Or you watching something, supposed to get to laugh a little too hard.
Yeah,
like, hold on, I gotta get the business.
Yeah, like, that wasn't that funny. They be like, don't you get it with the so and so? I'm like, wait, like that ain't cool. Like we can, but then because it's like, but then like they get uncomfortable because it's like I can laugh about it, but that goes back to what I was saying. Like it's for like before, like I know when everything is going on, I know like that's some of like the white friends that I have that want to comment on certain stuff. It's like sometimes like they don't know how to.
Right.
Because like nowadays, even if you like us, you say the wrong thing, folks is canceling you. Like they did like Desi, B. Simone, like all these people.
Well,
like
that's the thing. But they don't have track records though. That where they've been fighting for their people.
Yeah.
You can't slip up on your first time saying something, bro.
But then it's like it's so much pressure. It's like, what do you say? And I was like, listen, if you just say like,
this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm gonna say, man. Number one, don't come out being ignorant. Number one, I don't care who you are, what color you are. Don't come out saying nothing ignorant.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say something, speak and be informed.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, man, people got to chill. Like at the end of the day, people just gotta chill. Like it's just too much high emotion.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, because people want to show support of it, but it's like if you say the wrong thing, and it's like, what do you know about it? You so and so. Like you don't know about the struggle, the culture. It's like, you know, so like
because people they gonna get that because when you you can't criticize and support me. You can't say, oh man, I understand what you're going through, but why you riding?
Yeah.
You don't support me then.
Yeah.
Because you don't understand my pain.
Right.
But also too though,
like if you ain't made 7 posts about why they killing niggas, and your first post is, man, I support y'all, but why y'all riding?
Yeah.
We ain't got nothing to talk about.
That's what I said, man. This one thing I kept saying. I kept seeing everybody talking, man, people need to stop and go home. And this is what I don't think people understand. Going back home for some of these people is going back to nothing.
Facts. Big facts.
You don't understand that? Like, what are they going? See, if you okay, going home for you is all right. You don't know what they going back to.
Facts.
Maybe it's nothing. And if you don't know,
hell, chaos,
that,
all the
yeah, you don't know. These folks go to what? You don't know these folks' situation. They may have absolutely nothing to go to. Mm-hmm. So at this point, you're dealing with people who have no sense of hope.
Yeah.
Everybody frustrated. like, we ain't talking about a problem that's been going on for 2, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, like we just said. It's been going on for all my life, all his life, his daddy's life, mama life, granny life.
Yeah, grandmother life, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
The whole nine.
This ain't like, come on.
James Baldwin said it best. He said, people always say, man, it's gonna take time. He said, but it took my mama time, my sister time, my kids' time. Like, how much time
is it
gonna take? And I got a point on one too. I know y'all, you ain't asking me this, but I gotta say it before I get off here. This is my pet peeve with my people. This is my pet peeve with my people, but I got a pet peeve.
It's good. He's gonna be my next question. I was gonna ask y'all. Go ahead.
My pet peeve with my people is,
I know, man. I told you. We'll wrap it up, man.
We gotta be outraged when it's not the perfect death. See, right now we outraged because George Floyd died and he was perfectly handcuffed. The dude was perfectly on his neck. He didn't scuffle at all. He didn't have any drugs on him. He didn't have a gun on him.
No priors.
So he got some priors, but they were like 10. Everybody say they were his last. He's been out of jail 7 years with no incident. See me, I don't give a damn. His incident was last night. I don't give a damn. He running up. I don't care if he running about the bank. If he unarmed and you kill him, you wrong. And we all need to ride behind that anytime.
That's true.
That an unarmed citizen,
You saw what happened when
especially
they
a
wasn't
black
wrong.
person.
They took them into Burger King and everything else. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I seen videos. I'm an avid study of us and our people. I know the history of police brutality. I'm well versed in everything about that. And the incidents of our killing ain't the incidents that drive me over the edge, because they don't kill us all the time, but they beat our ass all the time.
Yeah.
They knock our teeth out our mouth all the time. You seen the one story of the dude that worked at the gas station and the police used to park outside, he got pulled over. They stopped that man 50 times, 40 times in a year, and they know he worked at the gas station. The police just want to pull him. He walked home too. Police just want to stop him every time he walk home from work. It's 365 days and he got stopped 50 times. That's like every 6 times he going out, they stopping him, bro. If my math is correct, we on live. I don't like being my math. But they stopping that man every other time he leave his job, they stopping him and putting him over. That's why we frustrated. The fact that all us are law-abiding citizens, we do work in the community, we do all that, and all of us got experience.
Yeah.
Each of us have a police experience that left a bad taste in our mouth, and all of us, neither one of us, have engaged in criminal activity.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? To its extent in a long time. I know for myself.
Yeah. I mean, me too.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, bro, like, when is it gonna stop?
Right.
So I guess that's my next question for y'all then. If I know we don't have the answers and we don't have a, whatever, but if you had to come up with a plan or a solution, what would it be?
We gotta ride for everybody, bro. We gotta ride for every situation. Every situation is supposed to have you outraged. If we was this outraged when Tamir Rice was the one set it over the edge for me. A drive-by shooting of a 12-year-old with a fake gun. That was my break, because my son was young at that point, and I was just becoming a father. And they were like, man, that happened to my son. I'ma do this, I do it, and it had me so enraged, bro.
Yeah.
It did something to my soul, and from that point on, I've been a monster. Like any Leo can tell you, we talk about this stuff all the time.
Yeah. We
We try to put methods in place to stop this stuff or curb this stuff, or at least hold us accountable and teach ourselves so we can avoid certain situations. But if we were this outraged and we continue to be out, I don't want to be 3 months from now and we all went back to normal and we was talking about defund the police and none of this stuff never went through. We ain't right. We ain't out there protesting. We ain't got our foot on our politicians' necks no more. And we just out here living like it's sweet.
We gotta create a new normal. That's what I'm saying. We gotta create a new normal.
We gotta force a new normal.
Yeah. I mean, and
But that's come from accountability and acting ass. If we don't act ass, this don't change.
I mean, that's probably they're getting so much results now. Like, people just doing what they're doing. They're just like, listen, we don't want no more.
Pressure is
So what we need to do?
Pressure.
When I saw what, like, Amazon had the little message, Black Lives Matter, they said even like Pornhub, I don't know how true it is. I ain't on them
Pressure.
sites. They said like,
We just been with it all confirmed.
They said Ebony only, man, for a little minute,
I
man.
don't know. We got a lot of videos that are confirmed. Nike, Jordan, like a lot of big major companies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we don't know if they truly behind it, what the true intent behind it
but
is.
At least they're fearful.
But it's enough to say, we on your side.
We're enough on your side, and perception is everything in the world we live in. So it's somebody who, like when they went and burnt all them Nikes and stuff, when the Kaepernick they gave them, man, them white folks still went back and bought some more Nikes, man. They replaced them running shoes, bro. I don't give a cap this money. They burnt the shoe. Guess what? Nike still stood behind the pay, gave some money, and guess what? They replaced them shoes, and now they making another statement. Everybody's making a statement, whether they with us or not. The perception is everything, dude. Even the perception of solidarity. You and your old lady can have an argument and a fight, and when you step out that door, nobody's supposed to realize what's going on because you supposed to stand in solidarity. That's the same concept with us. We gotta have that same concept. Hey man, I know you think this strategy might work. I know you think this strategy, man, that strategy ain't. And we raise hell arguing about strategy. But when we step outside and we on camera and we move as a unit, as a people, we gotta be on one accord.
Yeah. And then speaking of one accord, tell me a little bit more as well. Speak to the people about 200 man stand and what you guys hope to accomplish with that.
Man, the 200 man stand, a vanguard of peace, love, and brotherhood. What we aim to accomplish is, man, changing our inner cities and the minds of our young black kings, our young black queens. Yeah. With financial literacy, knowledge of self, various resources that we can bring to them to just make them better people. Is that we not trying to I always say, I like to say it exactly like this, we not trying to reinvent the wheel. We not doing anything spectacular. It's been people doing the same thing we've been doing since the conception of this society, trying to liberate black people, liberate our inner cities, and bring some sense of pride to us as a people. Yeah. It's been people doing that since the beginning of time. What we are trying to do is do it in Nashville, Tennessee, and where we have a stronghold in Moss Point, Mississippi, and East Tennessee, where we have our networks, in Mobile and Atlanta, where we have friends and family, and level up, so we can be an olive branch of the same progressive thoughts that we try to live by.
Okay. And I tell you, to kind of go back to what he said, like that sense of solidarity. That's what we looked at it as. Mm-hmm. We're gonna start with us first. We're gonna pull our resources, we're gonna put together our group, we're gonna come up with a group, we're gonna pull our olive branches, we're gonna get a group of guys, group of women, a group of collective of people, we're gonna start there. So it's like, we're gonna start with, we need to build a solid foundation first, give people something to latch on to. Like, we're gonna start that solidarity piece with us. We need to be solid first. Yeah. We need to have our stuff together first. So when we step out, we got something to present to these people. And that's kind of like the mind I collected. We put a lot of collective energy together, a lot of entities, a lot of people and organizations came together to make it happen. And it's just one of those things to, you know what I mean? Like, ultimately, it's for the benefit of the people. It's like, like I said, we all know what goes on, man. And it's sad to say, it's totally normal. We all know what goes on, man. Yeah. Like,
and I guess that's probably the sad part that it's normal. That's probably the even more sad part.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just we go on about our everyday life because it's normal. It's like we don't know anything else. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy that we just like mentally we so used to it. That's like it's crazy.
Cause we resilient as people. Black people are resilient. We know how to adapt. We came into it. We went from kings and queens to slaves. We went to the founders of civilization. The founders of civilization. Think about that. We created civilization, law and order in human form. We created that. We're stripped of that. A certain segment of us was stripped of that, and we had to recreate that again. Yeah. We are resilient as people, bro. And with that, we come with a coping mechanism, and that's to just adapt and accept certain things. You know what I mean? Just to move quietly. After we was kings and queens again, and we had Oklahoma City, the Tulsa riot, the Tulsa bombings, of domestic terrorism, where white people burned our businesses down, our homes, and murdered our people in the middle of the street. We had to readjust. We had to go back to living quiet. You know what? Let us go move out the way. We don't want to be loud and proud and black because they'll come tear us down again. So we had to be adjust, and now we gotta be quiet, docile Negroes, and we gotta, don't flaunt and flag. You know what I mean? That's why they hate our rappers. I love our rappers, bro. I love when they put their jewelry on and flash their little money, and the people who know what to do with like this all the way transition they mind, they got investment, they doing what they supposed to do. But I love that because for so long we had to hide out what we accomplished. The guy that worked beside in 1960, and that black guy that worked beside that white guy, and that black guy saved enough to buy a new truck, and that white guy say the white guy can go just buy the truck. Your granddaddy just can't go buy that truck. He had to go buy a truck 2 or 3 years older. Even though he had enough money to buy the new truck to the white man because he didn't want the negative attention. He didn't want to get fired from his job. There's so many of those instances that we don't talk about, bro. That play a way to shape our mindset of how we are today.
Yeah.
Things that my auntie told a story to where she was a counselor at TSU for years. Like 40 years and 45 years to be exact. And they had a company, one of her coworkers invited some colleagues over for a dinner at his house. His thing was paintings, portraits. The man had some Rembrandts, I don't know what kind of paintings he had, but he had some Picasso, whatever. He had $1,000, $100,000 worth of portraits and paintings, real high value. That's not usually what we're into as black people, but he was.
Yeah.
So his wealth wasn't in cars, so the white people didn't know he had that until they went to his house. Cause he didn't have jewelry, he didn't have a car, they never been to his house, he had those paintings. They seen he had, that nigga got too much. They fired him within a year. Got rid of him within a year. I'm hearing these stories growing up. Them the stories I hear from my auntie. So guess what? I'm not a downside Negro, so I don't mind showing my accumulation of what me and my wife work hard for. But at the same time, I understand why this man don't. I understand why we've been programmed to just sit still and be idle.
Yeah.
Because we don't want what we work for taken from us.
Yeah.
But we don't want, it's just, man, they played so many games with us, bro. They conditioned us, bro.
Yeah.
They conditioned us.
So I guess now, a couple more questions and I'll wrap it up for you guys. So since you guys have got this knowledge and you guys got this enlivenment, this insight, if you had to speak to your younger self growing up, what would you say?
Go harder, a lot faster. Yeah. What I'm doing now, I just would have just did it at 20.
Get started sooner and go harder.
I wouldn't even went to college. I
probably wouldn't have either. I'm grateful for the experience.
I'm glad for too, and I got a network. I got family from Alcorn State University. That's family to me. That's family. But at the same time, I probably wouldn't have went. I would have got that same network from another aspect of my life, and I probably wouldn't have went. So, it's just different right now.
I guess so. So wrapping up, my final question to you guys is, if you had to, we'll do both. So A, if you had to leave a message for a young black male, black female, what would you say? And then B, if you had to leave a message for just youth, period, regardless of race, what would it be? So A and B.
Move like somebody looking at you, man. Move like, not like somebody, like just anybody. Move like your kid is looking at you. Somebody that you love is looking at you. If we all move with that kind of honor, then we'll be alright. Move with honor. Move with purpose.
Man, everybody got some worth, some value, man. It's just up to you to put it to good use. Simple as that.
Alright. That's for like black men and black women. Everybody. Okay,
that's everybody.
That's good.
Simple as that. It's up to you to put it to good use. You got some worth, you got some value. You can totally piss it away and waste it, or you can put it to some good use. It's totally up to you. Simple as that. They go for any man, woman, child, anything in between.
That's real. All right, guys. So this is Culture Forward TV. Podcast. This is Craig Bailey taking over for Leo. We got all in the building, man. We had some other special guests come in the building. They didn't want to announce themselves. Do y'all want to leave the people with anything before we get out of here and say goodbye?
Man, 200manstand.org, 200manstand.org, 200mans.org, and forward, number 4, WARD.live, forward live. Check us out. We got a lot of stuff going on. We some talented black kings. that's doing our thing.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna pat ourselves, pat us on the back. We doing a lot of great things. I'm proud of the work we doing in the community. Shout out to everybody that's part of what we got going on that support us.
Hey man, shout out to my dog Craig.
Shout out to Craig.
Man, listen, man, we could have got deeper. I know we got people waiting on stuff. You know, operations can't cease.
Merch is available now.
You know.
We got shirts available. Also, we got Craig.
Yeah, man, I'm out here, man.
Too, man. We out here, man. We got a powerful group of black businesses, black men, black women that's doing their thing, man. It ain't no shortage of none of that going on.
Black excellence at its finest, full effect.
This is the culture. It's just up to you to tap into it. There's a lot going on.
That's real, man. All right, man. So without further ado, man, we're going to wrap it up right there. Thank you guys for tuning in. All right. Till next time.
Next time.